everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Amorous. Give me a second, I'm getting my guide ready to go. Where the fuck is it? I have so many tabs open on my phone. But anyways, we're just gonna jump back into this. I don't know what that was. Anyways. Oh, it's magically daytime. Anyways, we're gonna contact Seth. Call. Our next few meetings were sadly short and very business-oriented. Seth wouldn't let me come over until he had, in his words, cleansed the apartment from ceiling to floor at least twice. Despite my insistence that not everything needed to be perfect, there was no swaying him. That said, he kept to his promise and called me often when we weren't at coffee talking. When we weren't at coffee! Because coffee is a place. We're at coffee talking about his work on the story he was de-drafting. What? De-drafting? Finally, the day arrived. Seth greeted me at the coffee shop with a smile that just wouldn't quit. Alright, I believe my domicile is once again right enough with the world to accept guests. I know you've been patient with that, Jaybird. Thank you. I wanted everything to be absolutely perfect. Seth, you didn't have to go overboard with this. I'm not going to judge you on the cleanliness of you apartment. I mean, you've been to my house. Need I say more? Can't I just go a little overboard? I mean, you're helping me with my writing. I've been more prolific recently than I've been in years. I like to think that I had something to do with that. Still, I'm more than happy to come over. Should I bring anything? I'll leave that completely up to you. I should have everything covered, but I'm certainly not adverse to your personal touch. Ha ha! Alright then, I'll give it some thought. Are we going over another story today? Your bag doesn't seem to be bulging with notebooks as per usual. But your pants seem to be bulging with something else, and I don't approve of that. No, not today. I've been a little too busy doing some other last-minute things before tonight. I wanted to make sure that everything was just right and well. I forgot to write anything recently. I was hoping to see what you'd come up with next. I particularly liked the last bit of short fiction you did. Thanks! I was trying something new with the narration approach, and glad to hear you liked it. But I've also been talking your ear off about writing lately. How are things with you? Oh, well, great. Things are just peachy over here. I've been hearing back from a few places about a job, trying to stay active and positive. Aside from that, not much else. My day-to-day is fairly mundane. You know what? That's me. I've applied to, like, 5 jobs, 4 different places. I applied for 2 jobs at one place. Only 2 places got back to me, and they both said that I'm not qualified for the job. The other places, hell no, I guess I'm not worth Starbucks time or Safeway's time. But I mean, at least Walgreens and Sally Beauty had the decency to say, you're not fucking qualified. Someone help me from this misery that I'm stuck in. Anyways, better a comfortable humdrum life than to live the ancient Chinese curse, as it were. I just fucking... Do you guys ever accidentally... Okay, so I have long nails. Do you guys ever, like, accidentally bend your nail, but not, like, to the point where it breaks, but, you know, it bends a little bit, and then it feels fucking weird? You don't break the nail, but you bend it, like, really noticeably so? but it's not broken or anything. It's just you bent it for a split second and it's just fine, you know. It's sturdy as all hell, but it feels weird. I just accidentally did that with my fucking index finger on my stick because I move around when I'm making videos. Oh my god, I fucking hate when that happens. It doesn't hurt, it just feels weird. It feels weird. And then of course you have the risk of accident. It's like, I can bend it and it's fine, but if like, I'm putting my, like, I remember being in school and like one time I was taking my bag off my shoulder because I used to have an over the shoulder kind of bag, but then I got like a side bag, and then I got like an actual backpack for this year. I remember taking my bag off and I accidentally hit the desk and my fucking nail just decided to be like, hey, I'm gonna just chip off. Like not the entire nail, but like the long part where it's not attached to your finger. It was like, hey, I'm just gonna take off now, bye. And I'm like, well, fuck. Now I have to trim the other one. Whenever a nail breaks, I go ahead and trim the, file the other one. So I file them both so then they're the same length, and it makes my fingers look weird because then like I have super long nails on some fingers, but then on the others it's like, oh, it's not short. So sometimes I even go through the trouble of filing all my nails so then they're the same length. And I get really pissed off because I'm like, I want to grow out my nails so I can scratch people's assholes. Like, come on. Well, not actually scratch people's assholes, but you know. You know what I mean! I ain't going near the butthole area. That's not a place for me. But anyways, ugh. Don't you just love my random rants? Anyways, sorry for that. I'll get by. Kobe's been asking if you're going to stop by again. He seems to like you quite a bit. I like him too! Even when he gets a little flirty, I can see why he's a big part of your life. There has been one thing you haven't talked about. Did Nick's agent ever get back in touch with you? Not yet. Things do take time, and I know there's no way to rush it. It's just that the waiting is agony. I know. I'll do my best to distract you from that as much as possible tonight, then. Should I come in my suit and tie? Black tie is completely optional, though. Imagining you in formal wear is a very pleasing image for my penis. You should see me with... The one says you should see me with them on the guide, but you should see me out of one. I guess I need to say, honestly, I think, I'm just gonna say one with, yeah. I'm just gonna say this. If you think I'd look good in fancy clothes, you should see me out of them. My eyebrow waggle must have been too much for him as he snickered into his paw. Does that line usually work on people? The law of averages suggests that it will eventually. I just have to keep trying. I must say, you are certainly overselling the date here. I feel as though I'm going to be completely unprepared for what you have in store. I wouldn't say completely, but I do hope to inspire some awe. Is there anything I should bring, anything I should do to prepare myself for this experience? Being that this is the first real date we've had, at least in my humble opinion, I've gone to great lengths to make it self-sufficient. All it requires your attendance at six-ish at my place. Which, may I point out, you still haven't told me the address or location of. Oh, right. I suppose I got a little ahead of myself there. He fished through his bag for a moment and produced a slip of paper, quickly scribbling down his information. Now don't follow in my footsteps and throw this in the wash. If you're late, I'll call to check in, so keep your phone on. You know what? You could have just texted me your address instead of giving it to me on your fucking piece of paper that I could easily lose. Whenever people have something important to tell me, I tell them, please text it to me, because I'm gonna forget. Like, completely. And my dog's barking. That's great. Hey! Hey! Oh god, I'm starting to get hot. The AC in my house is still broken. And so, like, my legs are folded up to, like, you know, my calf's touching my thigh, kind of sitting position. Hey! What do you want? Oh my god. Why do you bother me every time I'm recording? Oh my god. Okay, fine. Stay with me, you little butthole. My little cutie pie. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, you know, if you have your legs like that for a while, you know how sweat collects? Yeah, I just felt a fucking drip of sweat just slowly slide down my thigh. I'm like, I don't appreciate this, okay? Yes, sir. If we don't, yes, sir. If we don't have any writing to critique, then did you want to grab some lunch or something? I don't know what the fuck that noise is. No dating until tonight. I don't want to spoil it. Then I'll just go with someone else. Fuck. It's just lunch. We can chat about non-romantic things like the weather or the current state of sports ball. Besides, you can't have too much dating and then not want it anymore. At least I'd hope you can't. I know I'm being a little silly, but you've done so much for me, intentionally or not. I want our first serious date to be perfect. And then everything else that is the opposite happens. Good job. Alright, just don't get your expectations too high. We're both just people after all. Now you're fucking animals. That's what you are. Furries. You're furries. He smiled at me, taking my hand in his for a moment. It was nice just to be together in one place without obligations. That was what worried me most about tonight. What he might be expecting. He's like, I've done all of this for you and you won't show me a cunt? How dare you! You owe me a blowjob for this fantastic evening I've bestowed upon you. Fucking nice guys. Assholes. I never considered how dangerous it might be dating a guy who likely got most of his ideas from reading romance novels. Oh, yeah. That is bad. I promise it's all well in hand and a comfortable level of hope. He glanced up at the clock over the counter and his smile shifted suddenly to a look of concern. Is that the time? Sorry, Jay, but I need to run. Just the last few things I needed to finish before our date. Now you've got the time and address. I nodded, patting the pocket where I had stowed. Sorry, I'm yawning. Good. Now I expect you there promptly. I've got plans that are very time specific. I'll be at your door at 6 on the dot, probably with bells on. Stick with the fancy clothes unless you're only wearing the bells. Part of me just died inside reading that out loud. Oh, nasty. He got a bit of a blush out of me. No, he got a fucking gag reflex out of me. Both from his comment and the soft peck on the cheek he gave me before he stood up and placed a 10 on the table. Coffee's on me today. I'll see you tonight. No, it's not. Come back here and I'll throw it on you. I sipped slowly at my coffee, nursing it, and the growing knot I felt in my belly. My belly. My relationship with Seth so far had been one strange encounter after another. I could only imagine what he had planned for tonight. I just realized that I've been talking to a guy named Seth. Oops! Guy named Seth, relive. Oh no. He doesn't need to know. I don't want him to know. Oh! The choices I make in life are terrible ones. I think my dog wants to leave. Do you want to leave or do you want attention? Or do you want both? Aww. She's so cute. My dog is cute. I should just get a webcam and just put it on my dog the entire time. Because she's my baby. Still, I wasn't about to pass up the chance to find out. Not when it meant finding out more about this adorably eccentric feline. Oh yeah, totally. Totally. Of course, without our critique session, most of my afternoon was empty. Kobe was out with some friends, and I had the house to myself. I could only putter around for so long before I found myself staring at the closet and wondering what I should wear. We're gonna look for something fancy. It had started as a joke, but once I spotted my suit hanging in the far corner of the closet, I began to reconsider. After all, if Seth was going all out, why shouldn't I? While it wasn't a perfect fit, I changed a bit since I last wore it. It still looked quite nice on me. The smooth, tailored lines really flattered my form. My feminine form that I don't have in this game, because this game was meant for a male player, so when it came to having a female version, all the sex scenes are still, you have a penis, from what I've heard and done research on. But the female pronouns are given to you, but that's about it. They should. I wish someday, for all the furries that actually enjoy this game, they would reanimate the sex scenes for females to be in them. Or not even completely reanimate them, just change the figure and, like, you know, make them wear a strap-on or something. Yeah. So then I may not like furries, but I believe that that's the right thing to do for them. Anyways, why am I even talking about this? Okay, now she definitely wants out. Hey, thanks for distracting me once again when I was trying to get back to the game. Go. Anyways. I want to drink bleach and die. After I'd gotten myself cleaned up, dressed, and looking my best, my thoughts drifted back to the day. That sounded like a rap. Seth said I didn't have to bring anything, but maybe I should anyway. We're gonna bring flowers. What day wouldn't be improved with a nice bouquet of flowers? Something to brighten up his home and show him just how much I appreciated what he was doing. There was a little flower cart just off the street nearby. I could swing by on my way to his apartment. Once I'd gotten myself together and made my decision, I looked down at the clock and then down at my cock, and then I'm like, oh hey, when did this get there? Oh wait, it's always been there, and then I masturbated furiously. I'm all over the place today. I've been all over the place every day, actually. It was getting awfully close to 6, and I hadn't left yet! I grabbed my keys, locked the house, and got into my car. Hooray. Sorry for yelling. We're gonna stop. We gotta stop for flowers! The flower cart was just beginning to close up when I rounded the corner and pulled up. The selection was minimal, but the owner was more than happy to put together a custom bouquet for me. He gave me a grin and a wink as I thanked him. By the time I made it back to the car, I noticed I was going to be running a little late. Hopefully the gift would help to make up for my tardiness. I made my way through the lobby and went up the well-appointed elevators. It appeared that Seth hadn't been kidding about a trust fund kid. The apartment building itself was ritzier than my home. Once I had gotten to his door, after checking the note twice, I knocked. Just a minute! I heard some scrambling, a few muttered expletives. What? And finally the sounds of metal pants colliding with wooden cupboards. I was about metal pants. Metal pants? Metal pans. Colliding with wooden cupboards, I was about to express my concern and Seth opened the door. Oh, snazzy. Looks like every other apartment I've been in so far. I'm pleasantly surprised to say I was right. What? The suit. Very dapper and flattering. You should wear it more often, and you're not dressed nicely at all. How dare you? I seem to recall something about saying you should be prompt. It was for a good cause, I promise. We'll see how true that statement is. Well, what do you think of the place? Once inside, it was clear that Seth wasn't kidding about his apartment. Despite the rather posh interior of the building, his own apartment was very sparsely furnished. Aside from a few pictures and a bric-a-brac, the living room held only a couch, coffee table, and a TV on a stand. It's nice, simple, clean. Seth smiled at me before setting down a steaming pot on the small dining room table. Devoid of any sense that a person actually lives here. Everyone's got their own tastes. Speaking of which, where'd you learn how to cook? It smells delicious. Thanks, I cannot take all of the credit. All of the credit, however. Most of it goes to the cooking channel and the cookbook I snagged from the library. Of course, I was unsure what you might like to eat, so I may have gone a little overboard in terms of available dishes. That's our light. That's our. It's why they invented resealable containers and microwaves. I'm impressed, though. You said you hadn't really ever cooked. He chuckled and took my hand, leading me to the spread laid out on the table. Again, he wasn't kidding. There were half a dozen dishes crammed into the small space. Rolls were neatly nestled in a basket and 3 different types of spreads, from savory to sweet, laid out on the kitchen counter. What the fuck? You trying to fat me up, buh? You made all of this just for the 2 of us. We can make it if we try, even though he's a furry. I don't like furry guys. That was not the direction the song was supposed to go in, but whatever. Turns out, being rather new to cooking, I wasn't aware of portion size. I mean, I thought it was quite a bit of food when I got the ingredients, but I guess I assumed it would condense or reduce whatever it is that chefs do to food. Man, I could take leftovers and you'd still be set for a while. Be sure to save room for dessert. I baked 3 dozen cookies. My eyes went wide as Seth smirked awkwardly at me. 3 dozen? Psh, who gives a shit? I can bake more than you can, Mr. Furry Man. Not that I'm a classically trained chef myself, but I couldn't even finish the thought before I burst out laughing. Next time you should pay closer attention to the recipe. It'll probably save you some money on your grocery bills. Oh! I almost forgot! I stood up from the couch and went to the door where it had set down the bouquet. After scooping it up and giving up on a fruitless search through the kitchen for a vase, I filled a sturdy water glass and slid the flowers into it. I settled my makeshift vase, into a nook. They slapped his face on every vase, on every vase. One time I sang that entire song by myself for my, mixed choir? Mixed choir. Yeah, it was mixed choir. No, it wasn't. No. Yeah, no. I don't remember. I know it was a choir. That's all I can say. I did that all by myself. Even, like, every single part by myself. I was so tired by the end of it. Like, I'm doing that so I don't get copyright strike, but I probably already did because fucking Disney is a fucking asshole. Anyways, I sold my makeshift vase into a nook between the rolls and the fresh baked bread and smelled that set. I thought, what kind of date doesn't have some flowers to mark the occasion? He was silent for a long... My dog? Why? Everyone ignore her. I'm ignoring her. He was silent for a long moment, reaching out to run a paddle through his fingers. A smile spread across his face as he turned back to face me. I love them. I've never gotten flowers before. Not part of the Spartian lifestyle. Never thought about how much they can brighten up a room. Okay, I can't ignore that fucking dog. Hey! What do you want? Stop barking! I got her to stop. I'm not that mean to my dog, okay? I might sound mean, but that's the point. I'm sounding mean. I'm not actually doing anything to her, don't worry. He leaned over and kissed me gently on the cheek. That said, we should eat before too much of the food gets cold. The two of us dug in, filling up our plates and heading back to the coffee table to eat. It was exciting and relaxing, a host of emotions all at the same time. It was easy to forget my anxieties and just lose myself in the moment. Seth was equally chatty, discussing his many attempts to inspire himself. I feel like that could be a sex thing. Oh yes, I'm about to inspire myself. Oh! The seemingly crazy lengths he'd gone to in the hopes of broadening his horizons. I'm embarrassed to say I actually drank half the bottle. The revolting taste still haunts me even after 12 full cups of mouthwash and a handful of mints. I'm still unable to go anywhere near fresh seafood. Soon after— what the fuck was that? What was that? What was that about? What? Dinner was set aside along with enough leftovers to feed an army. He insisted I take some home, not only because he didn't have the space, but he wanted to thank Kobe again. You want to have sex with my brother is what he really wants. Look at him. We sat on the couch relaxing and nibbling on a cookie every now and again. It was then that I noticed the large curtain across from us, closed but already a ruddy hue from the sunset. Oh yeah, that's definitely closed. Look at that. Seth smiled as he noticed my interest, getting up and pulling gently on the cord. The wispy curtains parted, and in a moment I saw the whole city spread out before me. Windows glistened in golds and reds, and I could even see my own house far in the distance, just above the horizon. Seth stepped next to me, touching a paw gently to the glass. Are you gonna smudge the glass? It's really why I picked this place to move after college. The rent was absurd, and the building was to me gaudy and pretentious, but when I was in this empty room, I couldn't make it to the regular viewing and convinced the realtor to give me one later that day. I was tired, grumpy from seeing my grades on my final. Once I looked out that window, though, I saw the harvest moon hanging there, almost transparent in the twilight. The clouds were a deep purple and a few flecks of red spread across them. Stop describing a sky to me. That cinched the deal. I signed the lease that second. This view was something I had been looking for maybe a piece in a bigger puzzle. I found it though, and it's been a source of comfort even in the worst of it. Hearing how much it meant, what kind of an impact it had on him, all I could think of was how empty this place would be if he left. When he left. My silence drew a curious look from him. Gently, he touched my shoulder, and I snapped back to the moment. Aw, you should have snapped back to reality! Oh, there goes gravity! What's wrong? You aren't enjoying the view? It's not the view. It's nothing. I'm supposed to say, it's nothing. Really, I'm okay, just taken in by the sight. It all looks so peaceful and small from up here. Seth was quiet for a moment, gazing at my face as I tried to remain happy in the moment. Took my hand in his and squeezed it softly. Ow! I need to show you something. I need to show you my big fat footy cock. I'll be right back. Oh god. He stepped away, leaving me there in the fading sunlight, gazing out over the sea of buildings. I wanted us to stay in that moment, stay right here until there was nothing left. It was selfish, maybe even petty, but I wanted it more than anything else right then. He stepped out of the bedroom and back to my side. Touching my shoulder, he drew my attention to what was in his paw. It was a sun-bleached, tattered notebook, one I had never seen before. He held it out to me. Go ahead, read it. It's embarrassing, but it's something I need to share. Is this your fucking diary? Confused, I opened it. Mostly it was pages of rough doodles, a few snippets of bad poetry, and some notes on classes. The few dates I saw placed, it probably in his high school years. However, one thing stood out. It was a short, clumsy, but innocent story of a young man who admired a fellow student. In awkwardly beautiful prose, it spoke of the distance, the ache, and the loathing that he could not approach the person he desired. It ended on a silly, sappy note, the focus of his affections finding the notebook and falling equally in love. A short note followed, though the name of its intended reader was scratched out in black ink. I read, I can't say this with my voice, so I used my words, I love you. I closed the notebook and looked up at Seth. It was my first story. He was the first person to inspire me enough to try to write. Down the road I may remember it as some fleeting high school crush, but the wound still aches sometimes. You never showed it to him? No, I did. What little confidence I had propelled my hand forward while we were in the library. He read it page after page in complete silence. When he was done, he looked back into my expectant eyes. He said nothing. He simply laid the notebook on the table in front of me, got out of his chair, and left the room. I probably would do the same, not gonna lie. I'd be like, who? Especially if you've never talked to this person. He'd be like, what the fuck? What? Who are you? And he'd just leave. I didn't see him the next day or the day after. When I finally asked someone, he told me his parents had moved and he'd gone with them. Seth? For 2 years I assumed it was me, that I was the reason he left. Part of me still thinks that, and all of me thought I would never recover. The folly of youth and the power of infatuation. Maybe you were more right than you thought. Maybe my experience would be better spent on romance novels. I wanted to say something, anything to turn the conversation away from this topic. I opened my mouth to speak, but halted when I saw Seth's lips spread into a smile. What I want to say, what I'm saying as awkwardly as I did in that notebook, is that I care about you. Intentionally or not, you drew me back out of that haze of loss and regret. And then the cycle will go on and on for all time. You were enough to draw a whole book out of me. Oh yes, you're the reason I'm here, that I even got here in the first place, and I'm not going to let you go, because I'm a creepy fucking stalker. Not like I did the last time I had this chance. He stepped forward and slid his paws into my hands, pressing himself close as he kissed my cheek softly. Stop kissing my cheek! Kiss me on the fucking lips like a man! Be a man, Seth! So let's forget about it for the moment. Let's just enjoy this for a few moments before your practicality and my anxiety bring it back up. It's not going away. Alright, for you I can try. I can't swear I won't think about it, but I'll try to stay here. That's all I need right now. It's been too perfect of an evening to let it go so soon. Besides, I seem to remember our celebrations requiring more than just dinner. I promised dancing too. Releasing my hand for the moment, his paw tapped a button just below the TV stand. Oh no! Oh, I know where this is going, and I'm cringing preemptively. A moment or two later, after a hiss and a word, soft, simple melody began to play over hidden speakers. His paw slipped back into my hand and squeezed it softly as he drew close to me and began to sway within slow, measured time. It's not the same music as the club, but at least we can talk over this. I squeezed his paws back softly, drawing him close as the two of us began to glide across the soft carpeted floor. His eyes remained locked on mine, glimmering in the dimming sunlight as all but the dance faded from my mind. I didn't make it any easier holding him close to me, feeling his silken fur against my skin. I didn't want to lose this either, but could I, in good conscience, be so selfish? Seth lowered his head, pressing his cheek against my chest and purring softly, almost humming with music. I couldn't help but smile in return. Am I taller than him? Why is he pressing his head? That's so weird. I guess I really am a guy in this scenario. That's so weird. I don't like it. I wasn't quite sure when the music stopped, our bodies still pressed close, but something stirred us enough from that embrace. I glanced at the clock and sighed softly. Please don't leave. I don't want to. I hope you know that by now, but dinner's over. It's nearly dark. Then stay here for the night. Stay with me. Oh god, this is getting really creepy. You're beautiful, Champered. Intoxicating. And amazing, and 100 other words I know but just fall short of my tongue. It's not fair to use your writerly wiles on me, you know. You know what I'd say in this moment, in this perfect moment. I say fuck what's fair. I say I want you, Jaybird. Do you want me to? No. No, I don't. You're creepy. The words caught in my throat, my body tensing as he lifted his lips upward and pressed them firmly against my own. His paws released my hands, wrapping around my waist and folding one over the other at the small of my back. It had been too long since I felt this, the aching need of another. Oh no, it hasn't. The passionate embrace. My hands came to rest on his shoulders, cupping them and pulling his body even tighter against my own. I need a fucking drink. I'm dying. I'm not religious, but I wish this water I just drank was holy water because damn, I think I'm gonna have some demons tonight. I think this is summoning some demons. Ugh. A gasp escaped his lips, swallowed eagerly by my... Ugh. Oh, God. I spoke too soon. Swallowed eagerly by my tongue before it could escape. It was as if a dam had burst, my needs overwhelming my senses. It was no longer about loss, about the moment slipping away. It was about us together and always exploring each other. No, please, stop. Put your shirt back on. Put your shirt back on, please. Oh, Jaybird. I need you, Jaybird. Show me. If anyone says this shit to me, I'm fucking done. If anyone says this in a comment, I'm fucking done with you. I'm done. Oh, I'm done! I need you, Taba! Show me how much you need me to! Please! Oh, God! I totally knew it was a bottom, though. Come on, it was so obvious. I dreamed vividly that night of Oh, come on, please stop. Stop, please. Stop this. Stop it. Before I throw out my lunch, please. Seth beneath me, of the warmth and softness of his fur. I saw him standing, smiling, his glasses perched on his muzzle, a notebook in hand. I saw him walk away from me, my hand outstretched as with each step he grew dimmer, fuzzier, until I could no longer see him. I remember softly sobbing, and then a light. Fucking symbols. I woke up in his bed, covered tucked, gently around me. Oh, covered tucked. Yeah, covered tucked gently around me, and to the sounds of a shower in the distance. The sunlight streamed in through the windows, making me blink and reflect until my eyes could adjust. The dream still lingered in my mind, my eyes watering. I got out of bed, making my way into the living room. Good morning! Put your fucking shirt on, please! Oh, thank God these characters don't have nipples. I think I would have lost my shit by this point. Good morning! I admit I was an unorthodox way to keep you here for the night, but I have no regrets. I hope you don't either. Yeah, having sex on the first date, real classy. I guess I'm a hypocrite because I am. Never mind! I don't have I don't have a part of this date. I don't have the guide for this part of the date. Fuck. There's no part. Just flirt. Only one. That we weren't able to continue doing what we did last night through this morning. Some of us are merely mortals, you know. I laughed for a moment. Stopping only as I watched Seth's expression fall. His gaze lingered at something beyond my shoulder, and as I turned to look, I also drew quiet. The tiny white box atop his end table near the door gave off a steady red blink at regular intervals. It meant he had a message, and the both of us knew what that could portend. My dog's barking again. Give me a minute. What? What do you want? Want in? Fine. Mi casa es tu casa. Mi casa es tu casa. I saw the caller ID this morning. It was from Donna, Nick's agent. Shouldn't you listen to it? I mean, you've come so far, and I choked on the sentence, swallowing the words that I didn't want to hear. If he says no, fucking writing is not important to me, then what I did was for nothing. Fuck you. I don't know if I can. It can only mean change and upheaval. I don't know if I'm upheaval. I don't know if I'm ready for that particular part of my life. Dude, you got this far? I don't care about my feelings. I don't care about my feelings. I put so much effort into fucking critiquing your fucking work and giving you inspiration. You're not gonna do this. How dare you? I gave you so much. You're not gonna take the opportunity. How dare you? I'm gonna console him? We've both been hiding from this too long. You said it yourself. You don't want me to go anywhere, and I don't want to go anywhere either. Once you know what your life has in store, we can make plans. We can see about making this work. All right. We found each other amongst hundreds. We can deal with this. He stood over the machine for a long moment, staring down at the pulsing light. I stood walking behind him and placing my hand on his shoulder. He smiled back at me for a moment before his finger touched the button. Hi there, Seth. This is Donna from the Independence Literacy Agency. Nick passed on a section of your work to me, and I was calling to discuss it with you. We both held our breath, my throat dry as I waited what seemed to be an eternity for the woman's voice to continue. It's surprisingly good, particularly for an early draft. Don't get me wrong, it needs an editor, but I think that's something we can do for you. Please come by the office sometime today before 1. I'll let my receptionist know to expect you. If you can't make it, call me back and we'll reschedule. We did it! We actually did it! No, you did it. You're the writer. I'm just the inspiration. Seth turned to face me, his smile still prominent on his face. No, I mean we. You're in this too, remember? No, I'm in you, remember? Kill me! I chuckled to myself and glanced over at the clock. It was just a little past 11. Well then, I guess this half of we should get in the shower. No good showing up to our new agency naked and disheveled. That's the spirit! I'm afraid your suit was a casualty of a recreation last night. There isn't much time to run it to the cleaners. Oh, did you jizz on my fucking suit? Ew. That's alright. I'm sure we can scrounge up something. The feeling of the warm water eased my aching muscles. It did little to assuage the knot in my stomach, though. My current unemployed position might make this easy at the start, but I couldn't rely on Seth alone. What would I be doing while he was rushing around? I couldn't expect him to carry me. I took a deep breath and let these thoughts wash away down the drain. There would be a time for specifics later. For now, I was going to help Seth achieve his dream. That was much enough for now. That much was enough for now. Hey, where are you? Oh, there you are. Hey, what's up? Being all cute and shit. Oh God, please put your fucking shirt on. Please. Clean, dressed, and together. You're not dressed! You're wearing pants but no shirt! Clean, dressed, and together, we stood at the door. It seemed somehow more imposing as we made to leave the inviting warmth of Seth's bed. I felt his paws seek out my hand, twining his fingers through my own as he squeezed it softly. There we go. Your shirt's back on, thank God. It's a magical shirt, just pop, 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 right back on. Once we walk through that door, everything around us may change, but I promise this right here won't. That is so fucking cheesy. My hand clutched his tightly. I know, because I refused to lose you either. I refuse. Then all that's left is to open that door. I chuckled as Seth's ear flattened against his head. With my free hand, I turned the knob and pulled the door open wide. We didn't talk much on the way there, letting the warm air rushing over us and the feeling of our hands together speaking for us. I felt like I had come far in such a short time, and while I wasn't sure what the future might hold, I knew I'd have someone there regardless. Hooray! This is love achievement. This is love. I'm fucking sweating, and I'm dying. And my dog is hot, too. Anyways. I'm gonna return to the club because I don't care. And now he's no longer there. He just poof, died. He just poofed and died. Poofed and died. That's how I like my men. I like it when they poof and die. But anyways, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Amorous, I would like to see more of this fucking assaholic game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye! Oh, what? Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, my God! Holy fuck! I just noticed that it froze! I just noticed that my recording software froze. I'm so sorry! Holy fuck! Well, I mean, it's not like you guys missed anything, but holy... Oh my god. Oh my god. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm the worst YouTuber ever. Why is it still frozen? Oh my god, what do I do? I guess I can just remake the video. I'm gonna close the game. Close the game. Power, quit the game. Yes, I'm very sure. Oh my god. Fuck. Oh my god. Let me know if you guys want me to remake this video. I don't have the time to do it now, but like maybe next week I can continue off for the fucking recording software froze. I'm so sorry, I didn't know that it did that. Anyways, I already gave my outro. I'll see you guys later. Bye.